Okay, the first question I have for you, my brother Zion, is that is there henotheism in the Bible? The idea is that there is more than one God. I heard Divine speak on this, and I was blown away. Divine said there is more than one deity according to the Bible. So I'm asking you, is there more than one God according to you in the Bible?
Let me make something emphatically clear. When we speak about what's in the Bible, we have to be extremely accurate to what the Bible says. I think Divine Prospect is an amazing scholar. He's a very good and close brother and friend of mine. So this critique that I'm going to give today is definitely a brotherly critique first. But I want to make it clear that there were definitely some things that he mentioned that I take issue with, and several other prominent Hebrews in the community also took issue with. One of the things is that Henotheism is the idea that there are a multiplicity of gods and that there may be a chief God presiding over them. This couldn't be further removed from the truth. This concept is actually foreign to the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible. It does not exist. Anyone who would suggest that Henotheism is the precursor of monotheism as introduced by Father Abraham of the Bible, I would say is gravely mistaken and making an error. I wouldn't say it's blatant, but I would definitely say they're making an error. There's actually a couple of passages that I want to look at. One real quick. I'm going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 5. That will clear this up real quick. So, in Divine Prospect's brilliant way of dealing with the Tanakh and bringing out the truths in the way that he does, one of the things that he said in one of his videos leading up to me being here today is that he said that the monotheism of the Bible was foreign to the pre-exilic Israelites. Meaning that the pre-exilic Hebrew Israelites or Israelites, they had a more henotheistic view of the universe. They saw that there was a tribunal of gods and a great God presiding over them. This is extremely incorrect. I'm going to use one verse to make the point clear. I'm in the book of Isaiah chapter 45 verse 5 where it says, Ani Yehovah ve'ein od zulati ein Elohim. I am the Lord and there is no one else. There is no God besides me. That's very problematic for someone or anyone who believes in henotheism in the Bible. But to Divine Prospect's credit, he did say, the brother's meticulous, he did say that henotheism exists in pre-exilic Israel. And by the time of Isaiah, we already had the Egyptian captivity according to the Bible. So I'll give him that. So the first way I would deal with that now is to look at the book of Genesis chapter 1, which reads, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashemayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Is how most people read it in English. I'm going to go through the literal Hebrew meaning to show you one very important fact that would annul and void the entire concept of henotheism and pre-exilic Hebrew thought, because I'm going to bring you to the genesis of Hebrew thought, both figuratively and literally, by looking at Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. So we're in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, which reads, In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The literal meaning in Hebrew is Bereshit, which means in the beginning. Bara means he created, and I might throw you off with this, Sarnetta. The next word is Elohim, which is God. So the first three words of the Hebrew Bible says, in the beginning, he created God. It doesn't say in the beginning, God created.
Right.
The literal meaning, I'm going word for word now. In the beginning, which is Bereshit, he created, bara. The next word is Elohim. So what are we talking about? Because most people, when they think about the first opening line of the first book of the Bible in the first sentence, they think that it would read, because most people are just simply reading in English, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. But for those who understand Hebrew, and those who are reading the text in the original language, which is Hebrew, you know that's not the literal meaning when we go in word for word. The first word is Bereshit, in the beginning. The second word is bara, he created. The third word is Elohim. In the beginning, he created Elohim. So what are we actually talking about here? Elohim is a creation within itself. Elohim is actually a title that is only significant with the advent of creation. Elohim is also called Haboreh, the creator. Now, when there's no creation, this concept or title does not exist. The only thing that exists is what the text is calling bara, which means he created, not even naming him, because at this point we're speaking about the ineffable one. And by ineffable, we're talking about the one who is beyond all description. There is no language with which we can put or come to a cognitive description for and or of. This is the tetragrammaton in Hebrew, which is the highest name and also the highest attribute of the deity. The highest name and highest attribute of the actual deity is what is pronounced by some people as Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yehovah, or I've even heard some people say Yahweh. But we're all on the same page when we simply say the tetragrammaton, the four-letter name. Tetra meaning four. All right? Mm-hmm. So the concept is this. There would be no concept of Elohim if there was no creation. Throughout the entire first chapter of the book of Genesis, the only and exclusive name used to describe all things created is this term or attribute or title, Elohim. Elohim represents the creator as a moral judge of the universe, of the world, and of man. Why did the creator create the universe and man under the guise of this title? He is showing us, through the use of this title, that the world is governed by morals and ethics. Everything in the universe is bound by divine law. This is the concept behind the term Elohim, which is also applied to judges in the land of Israel, who also execute and administer justice and divine law. The judges throughout the land of Israel are called Elohim. That's in the book of Exodus chapter 21. The judges in the land of Israel are actually called Elohim. And these are men. These are not gods per se. So the concept behind that is very, very simple. The ineffable one, known in Hebrew thought as Yahweh, Yehovah, Yahuwah, Yahweh, or the tetragrammaton, this is the concept of the deity at its highest peak or annex, where it is beyond all descriptions. It is he that created Elohim, and through Elohim, all things were created through the title or the concept.
So the mistake that Divine Prospect is making by saying there are other deities, what is he doing wrong? He's not reading the Hebrew? Or what is he doing wrong?
I watched Divine read the Hebrew, and I want to offer my opinion and say he's fairly good at reading the Hebrew. I critique everyone, and I open myself up to critique as well. But Divine is definitely one of those people who I rate when it comes to Hebrew. The brother's no slouch.
Right, but what is he doing wrong, though?
The thing that he is definitely doing wrong is that throughout his dissertation, his justification for the concept that he's pushing, Henotheism, he equates angelic forces, or what in Hebrew we would call malachim, with Elohim. There is a sharp contrasting difference to what the Torah calls angels and what the Torah calls God. The Torah refers to angels with the term malak in the singular and malakim in the plural. The Torah refers to the creator as El in the singular and as Elohim in the plural. And as Divine Prospect already said and already knows, the plural in Elohim is that it is a majestic plural. It is to teach about the majesty or the greatness of the deity. Not that the deity is numerous or more than one. So the problem that Divine Prospect ultimately is making is that in several places in his description of henotheism and using the Bible as the yardstick by which he's measuring it, he continually made the mistake of equating angels that convene on high with the Creator. He continually equated them with this concept called Elohim, which is a problem, which is problematic because there is nowhere in the entire Tanakh where angels are called Elohim. Angels are called B'nai Elohim, sons of God.
Is Yahuwah an avatar of Elohim?
That's a great question. I found that very interesting. Divine will be credited in the history books as the very first Hebrew to coin that phrase. We've never heard that before. No such concept. And I find it problematic for several reasons. Number one, the term avatar is Sanskrit in origin. So we're not even talking about Hebrew. And I have a problem when we're using foreign terms to describe Hebraic thought, because we're always going to be further removed from the crystallized idea, opinion, and thought behind what the Hebrew said. It's very important to speak a thing in the language it was spoken from. With that being said, avatar is a Sanskrit word for incarnation. The incarnation or divine manifestation of a soul or of a deity or deities. So when Divine Prospect says that Yahuwah, which would be the highest attribute of the deity, the God of Israel, when he says that Yahuwah is an avatar of Elohim, that's extremely problematic, seeing that Yahuwah created Elohim. We just read that.
Right.
We just showed you that Elohim was actually created. Because Elohim is only significant with the advent of creation. The creator and creation coexist when this thing came to be, called the beginning. Prior to the beginning, or before time itself, when the ineffable, unknowable one solely existed, you could not call him Elohim. There was no creation for him to relate to. There was nothing else created, made, or formed but him. So when he says that Yahuwah is an avatar or an incarnation of Elohim, I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why that's problematic. And dear respect to the brother, but one of the reasons why that's problematic is number one. An incarnation is inferior to the thing it is incarnating from. Major premise to duly note and understand. I'm going to say it again. When we speak of incarnation, the thing which is incarnating is inferior to the thing that it is incarnating from. So if Yahuwah is the incarnation of Elohim, he is now saying that Yahuwah is inferior to Elohim. How could that be possible when we know that our book tells us Yahuwah is the God, Ha Elohim? In fact, our book is replete with terms with Yahuwah is the King Elohim, or the great God, Hagadol Elohim. How do we refute that? How do we synchronize that? How do we harmonize that? This is not meant to belittle the brother. The brother is an amazing scholar, but sometimes we are allowed to critique one another in order for our community to grow. I've watched Brother Reggie, I've watched Brother Jabari come together and agree and disagree. And it was an amazing learning moment for people who followed them both. And I don't want my community to lose out on that opportunity. Make no mistake about it, this critique is in love. That's an amazing brother. But I have to disagree where I disagree. And he will do the same with me, make no mistake about it. So, simply put, it is impossible for Yahuwah to be an avatar of the thing Yahuwah created. An avatar is inferior to that which it is that which it is an incarnation of. For instance, perfect allegory. There are some in the Christian faith that believe that Jesus is an incarnation of God. And by incarnation, they acknowledge he is inferior. So when we say that Yahuwah is an avatar of Elohim or an incarnation of Elohim, there's a major problem going on with that, because that which is incarnating is superior to the thing that is said to be incarnated from. Yahuwah is superior to Elohim. Yahuwah created Elohim. This is replete throughout our text.